cents a minute.
Yeah, talk to the guys at the Toronto Library booth, which is like down, one level down, just right under the escalators, like almost directly below.
Yeah, they have a little tech center there where they can do like video editing, sound editing, and stuff like that.
They're a city library. They want you to come in and use their stuff, so they're really gonna be enthusiastic about telling you about all the resources that they have.
Yeah, and then say you'll find out whether you need. Okay, do I really, want to just use the services, or do I actually want to try and buy my own printers? Right? So because then if something's wrong, then you got to fix it. Whereas if something goes wrong there, their cost.
Yeah, you're probably. I mean, if you're just getting into it, you're probably better off trying it out with their stuff until you get the hang of it, and then
yeah, because there's so many printers out there. There's new ones every day.
It's a really they're getting bigger and better and cheaper. And,
the price is coming down.
Yeah.
Electronics. Okay. Electronics is a completely another different area.
It's completely out of my area of expertise.
It's great for adding lights and sound and stuff to your costume, your props, and all that stuff. Like it says, right now Arduino seems to be very popular, but there's also a bunch of others, Raspberry Pi, Hacks, and stuff like that. With a lot of them, same thing. There's a big community out there. So if you're not familiar with the programming and all that stuff, you can probably copy someone else's programming and then adjust it slightly for your need. Whether it's like to do sound, add sound to your prop, or add lights to your props, right? So, as a lot of people will just want to help you.
I just thought it would be a good opportunity to point out that you can actually get. This is the toy from Playmates, which I think they've got a bunch of them in either this dealer's room or the one in the other building. So you should be able to find those around. This is the Diamond Select full-scale one. So if you've got adult-sized hands, you're probably going to want this one. These ones go for like $60 and up usually, although you can sometimes find them on sale. This one has the batteries are getting this one.
And a good way to get electronics, lights, and stuff like that is to get a toy that has that. Go to the dollar store, find a toy that has
I was going to say,
like
if you want to build your own one of these, then if you can figure out a way to build the shell using one of the other techniques, you can just find a cheap $1 ray gun in a dollar store somewhere, pull the guts out, and stick it into your thing.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Klingon Disruptor is on Thingiverse, so all the parts are there.
Yeah.
You want to print it out, or anything, and then like I said, find electronics somewhere else. It's a relatively inexpensive way to get into the props.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, if you want to like pull one of these apart, there's little screw bolts you can get in there and unscrew it all. I would recommend it though, because you can probably find cheaper guns to make. Like either keep this one as it is, or find another gun that's way cheaper, pull the guts out, and then build one of these yourself.
Okay. Then there's also CNC machining and laser cutting. Same thing. There are laser cutting surfaces and CNC cutting surfaces that are, instead of buying your own. With laser cutting, there's quite a bit you can do, and that's where again the design work, the CAD work comes into it. Certainly, right? So if you design a lot of parts, like for the archer builders, we help design the frame, the skins, the legs, and all that stuff. And
Backlights.
okay. And same thing. Once you find someone locally that can do CNC machining, once you design certain things, you can get quite a bit made up. Sort of thing. Same thing, limited by your imagination of what you can do, sort of thing. Right? So, you want to show up with that one?
Yeah, it's going to show up. Well, I'm pretty sure this one was probably laser cut.
Yeah, laser cutting can do wood, it can do metal.
So that's a real metal bat left. I'm not sure if it's. I think, given its weight, I think it's probably aluminum, which is a little bit easier to work with than real steel. But yeah, but given how smooth the edges are, that was probably laser cut to get it, to get the perfect shape. Because it'd be hard to do something like this by hand and getting it that even. Now, mind you, if you can't like that, doing something like that at home is going to be pretty tricky. You're probably better off like getting it. There are dealers.
It's possible, but but it'll take quite a while. Like with the jigsaw, it'll take a while.
But if you want to do sort of a cheaper, easier version, okay. Actually, I will mention that we do now have a foam batleth available commercially. It's the same people that do all these other things. Just be careful with it because I snapped 3 out of the 4 points off of this one, and I've only used it a couple of times, so they are a little more fragile than you would expect. But if you want to do batleth at home, you can cut them out of plywood. This is just like I haven't finished this one yet, but that's just cut out with a jigsaw, you know, carefully. I think the outside was actually done on a bandsaw. But yeah, you want some kind of a you want a kind of a saw that you can actually do curves on. So you have to be like, and some of them are relatively tight curves, so you have to be careful.
Jigsaw.
Yeah, or if you want something that's the problem with plywood, because of the shape of the batleth, is that the points have a tendency to snap off, because even like plywood, the thing about wood is it has a grain, so it'll along the grain it has it can snap. So because the batleth has a curve to it, parts of it are always going to be along one grain and parts of it across the grain. So plywood is better than regular wood because it's laminated, some with the grain going this way, some with the grain going that way. So it's less fragile than if it was just solid wood, but it still has a tendency to snap if you drop it. What I did find though, and this is just like this is a con-safe batleth. This is something that you can carry around relatively safely, and you're not going to hurt anybody, and it's not going to snap. And basically what it is this is corrugated plastic. I actually the store next to the store I worked at was changing their store sign. So this is basically it's a thick piece of corrugated plastic. I got like a sheet that was like 3 feet by 4 feet. So I cut like 3 of these out of that, and just cut it with a good heavy knife, and just wrapped it in duct tape, which doesn't look especially real, but people can tell at a glance that it's not going to actually kill you, so they won't freak out and call the cops. So that's the idea behind these batleths. So that's all. It is a consideration, because like the metal batleth you saw, it was wrapped in a towel. It lives wrapped in that towel. I never actually take it out because, you know, convention security or the police or whatever will get after you. So those are great for hanging on your wall at home, but not so great for walking around the convention.
This yours?
This is something that I picked up that it's not technically Klingon, but it looks kind of Klingon. But I got this one that's at a costume contest. I'm not exactly sure who made it, but it's got a solid rod through the back, and it's built up. It's got foam. Clearly, it's like foam pieces that they glued together and then covered over with plastic dip. Is this stuff?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. There's a material called plastic dip, but basically you can coat the foam pieces and give them like a smooth finish. And cover all the paint and so on, and it's squishy, but the paint stays, like the paint doesn't flake when you squish it.
What was the product called again?
Plasti dip?
Plasti dip?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's what, like a lot of people that make like the foam armor, like a lot of the anime fans make a lot of foam armor, that's what you use to coat it with, to get that nice like metallic finish, like it's shiny, but it maintains its flexibility.
Big sculptures like Canada for the
They would probably have that too, yeah.
So yeah, same thing. They might have the paint to do that, so the plate don't flex or flake off when you sort of bend it, sort of thing.
Actually, while I'm here, I got one other prop that we sort of passed, but that's the cane from Star Trek VI, the cane that Chancellor Gorkon had when he beamed onto the Enterprise. And a friend of mine in the States made this, and basically this is just a length of 2.5-inch, 3-inch PVC pipe from the plumbing section of the hardware store, and he cut a seam in it, like basically a dart, and just again heated it up over a stove element, outside, like you got like a hot plate and plug it in out in your backyard or whatever. When you heat it up, it gets soft enough that you can bend it, and you can basically it's got a little seam there where he just pinched it closed to get the point, and then at the other end he just cut slots and bent it back to form the 3 bits, and then took another sheet of just styrene, kind of like you would use for the vacuum form. Just without vacuum forming, he just sort of, with an oven mitt on, just sort of mashed it around the end to form the rough, knobby bit. So that's a fairly simple project. He's actually used a similar technique, like rather than vacuum forming, he sort of hand formed one of those Klingon helmets over a plaster and metal mold that he's made. So he's sort of taken like the pieces of metal and just sort of using padded gloves, taken the hot, soft sheet of plastic and formed it over the thing, and then trimmed it and attached the pieces together. So there are sort of cheaper, easier ways to do things. It depends on how accurate you want to get about stuff. Are we done with? So we're done with that thing. We still got. How much time have we got left?
About 20 minutes.
Oh, we have about 20 minutes left. All right. Anybody have any props project that they're thinking of doing and want to know how to approach them? Oh, come on, you guys are all sitting here in the panel. Yeah, okay, we still got a little bit of time. We sort of zoomed through all this stuff really quickly,
So
so
we don't know how much time we have.
yeah, it's hard to judge how it comes out, but yeah, okay, yeah.
Do you have a good website to get programs for Raspberry Pi? LED setup?
Not me, that'd be him.
I'm more Arduino than the Raspberry Pi sort of thing. So like Google like Raspberry Pi and forums and you might find something. So, you might want to go to one of the stores like Sale and ask them if they know more about that sort of thing because they sell the stuff. So yeah, Arduino.
Yeah.
Have you done any work with vapor bathing ABS?
We're with sorry what?
Vapor bathing ABS.
Which is what? Not exactly familiar with that.
So
term.
you do your 3D print with ABS, but
No,
it's
because
acetone
ABS
sensitive?
has the fumes.
Yeah.
Well, ABS, the vacuum
It's
is
acetone
smooth. It
sensitive.
smooths the
Yeah.
the
So
thing.
you do the vapor
I don't
bath
do the
test.
ABS
No.
because of the fumes, because I had to vent it outside, right? So, and you need higher temperatures, it's more finicky.
Yep.
You need the heated bed, and you need the higher temperatures for that sort of thing, right? I'm going to try and go to PETG next, because it has the properties of ABS, and it doesn't have the fumes. Apparently you have to fine tune it. But
Is it
they're
more
saying
expensive?
sorry?
Is it
It's
more
it's
expensive
about
than
the
ABS?
same price as the PLA.
Okay.
It's not as expensive as ABS sort of thing, but
Okay.
I said that it's not biodegradable, it has a strength.
Yeah.
And it's a temperature between the ABS and the PLA. So, and it says you don't have the nasty fumes, so you don't really have to vent it.
So what they're talking about is a bit beyond me, but I will mention that if you are doing stuff out of ABS, whether you're 3D printing it or other techniques, you can use acetone. You just paint a bit of acetone onto it, and you can use it to bond pieces together, because basically
I think only ABS.
only ABS,
Not,
yeah.
not PLA.
Not other kinds of plastic. But yeah, basically what happens is the acetone softens the outer surface of the ABS plastic. You paint it on both sides, and once the surface is softened, you just jam the two pieces together, press them, and then it hardens up again, and then it's like it's a single solid piece. That bond is never going to, like the rest of the ABS plastic piece will break before the bond does. So it's a good method of joining ABS.
That's kind of what the vapor bathing does too, is you
Yeah,
heat it
smooths
up
the outer
and it
surface, right.
seals the outside.
I think
So
it's
as
just
opposed
like
to having to sand a PLA,
I think it's
you
I
the
think it's like
vapors
melts
the outside.
It
and
melts the outside
it-
just
yeah,
enough to coat the
enough,
to
yeah,
soften the
and
surface.
it makes like a shiny sort of
Sure.
sealed.
But I think that's like nasty chemical, so you need like a sealed.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah,
sealed
that sounds
blend
really
in
toxic.
Acetone, not acetone, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's why I haven't gone to ABS yet, because of the fact that you need to vent it, and I think you have to have a high temperature bed like AUC. Or else
My husband built our 3D printers, so we have a heated bed and all that
Yeah.
outside.
They're fun, like I said, there's so much you can do with it.
All right, I think we're rapidly running out of people, so I guess we'll
Yeah, that's fine. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Thank
if
you.
you have any other questions, look for us downstairs. I'll be at the Klingon booth, so I'll probably be over at the front first.